Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, thank you so much for coming by. And if you've seen a few of my videos before, thank you for watching again. I am a registered nurse as well as a mom of 2 boys, and I'm just looking to learn better ways to keep my house cleaner more often, as well as just kind of lead a more simple life that's a little more family oriented. And that's kind of what you're going to get on my channel, with a focus on cleaning. I do find making these videos actually helps me stay accountable and helps me keep my house cleaner. So I hope they're motivating to you, because they're definitely motivating to me. Today we are going to be spending most of our time, actually I think all of our time, in the kitchen. The kitchen seems to be the area that gets the dirtiest in our house. And so first I'm going to tidy everything up, and then there's 2 problem areas that I wanted to tackle. One is a cupboard that we'll talk about in a little bit, and the other is the fridge. And then I'll just share with you sort of a quick plant-based meal that we did for dinner that night. So I hope you enjoy. If you do, please consider giving a thumbs up, leaving a comment, subscribing to my channel, and yeah, sit back, relax, or if you want to, grab some cleaning supplies and clean along with me. I mentioned earlier that I'm trying to get sort of into more simple family-oriented life, and one of the things I'm trying to do more of is have home-baked goods available in the kitchen for my husband and kids on a more regular basis. I just feel like this is a better way to eat, and it just feels better for me, like I'm keeping my family a little healthier and providing them with better options for snacks, especially when they get home from school or even for their lunches. So that cake pan, or I guess you would call it a glass dish, this past week had a couple different banana breads in it, as well as some muffins, and that helped make lunches a little easier, but also is just a nice, easy thing to reach for when someone in the family is hungry. All right, this is, I guess it's kind of like a baking cupboard. All my flours are there on the bottom shelf, and then up top I kind of have a mix mash of things, but most of the things are baking ingredients. And I don't think I've really touched this cupboard in terms of organization since we moved in. And when we went plant-based, we bought a bunch of flours to try out. So I have a lot of bags on that bottom shelf, as you can see. And then just because of holidays and decorating things with the kids, we've just kind of collected little bits and pieces here and there. I know that some of these items are probably expired, that I haven't touched in, months to possibly years. And I think some molasses had spilled. I know my cocoa powder and some flour you can see on the bottom shelf there had spilled. Those black dots I think might be icing from one of those like squeezable containers. So it needed to be cleaned up. We're hopefully redoing our kitchen, or at least starting the process in the next couple months. So I'm not looking to do anything fancy or try to upgrade my organization or any of that until we're done the remodel. But I did want to get this space cleaned and reorganized so that I can find things when I need to, because that makes a huge difference. So I just need to get in there with some elbow grease, scrub some of this molasses and whatever else has spilled off of the contact paper, and then we will throw in anything that is expired, and then anything that's left over we will reorganize and get back into this cupboard. So the top shelf is done. So we're moving on to the bottom one. So like I said, this is mostly flowers. I think there's also some marshmallows, and that's where I keep my cocoa powder and my cornstarch. It's funny because those don't really go with the rest of the flowers, but I'm just so used to them being there that to move them, I think would just confuse me and I'd be looking for them. So, being a creature of habit, I'm just going to keep them where they've lived for the last 4 years. So I definitely had a few bags that were like half empty, but they were the same thing. I think you can see there I have 2 brown rice flours. I had 2 whole wheat flours. I think there was a couple other things. So I was able to combine them to save a little bit of space. And actually most of it was not expired. So I was able to put most of the stuff back onto the shelf. Moving on now to the fridge. So yeah, there's a lot of leftovers in the fridge, a lot of cartons that I feel like are expired or have the smallest amount of like oat milk in them left or something like that. That 1 egg carton only had 1 egg left in it. I felt like there was a lot of paring down that I could do, but also I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I'm trying to get better at not wasting so much food. I kind of used the excuse in the past, it's really hard with kids because you never know what they're going to eat or what they're going to feel like or what's going to come home in their lunches. But really, I think there's a lot of leftovers that sometimes go into our fridge to die as well. And so I just want to get better at that. And certainly cleaning out this fridge was just another reminder that I want to get better at that, because there were quite a few expired items. And there were even some leftover food that had been shoved to the back of the fridge, bottom shelf way at the back in the dark corner, that were, getting moldy. You can see there's a couple pears on that second shelf that we put in the fridge to try and extend their shelf life so that we would eat them, but they've still gone totally brown. So my goal is I've gotten back into meal planning again, which has been super helpful because then we're only buying the things I know we're going to eat during the week. I'm hoping that will help sort of cut down on some waste. And I am going to try and stay on top of this fridge so that things don't disappear into the back and become forgotten about. So I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated on how that's going. If you have any tips or tricks, if you've got young kids, on how to get better with, less food waste, I would love to hear them. I am open to any suggestions. This looks so much better, and it's so much easier to know what's in the fridge. This is all the stuff that I was throwing out. I mean, some of those containers are pretty much empty, so they're not full of wasted food, but that's still way more than I would like to. And I mean, for environmental reasons, for, food scarcity reasons, but also just for financial reasons. That's a lot of money wasted right there. So these are all the containers that were in the fridge. So now I'm just going to load them into the dishwasher. And by this point, oh yes, I forgot I broke a glass. I was trying to shove it in there too ferociously, I guess. And this way I can get this loaded. I had to double check that there was no big chunks of glass that had gotten into the dishwasher, and there was just the one little piece. And now we're moving on to some cooking. So like I had mentioned earlier in the video, I'm trying to have some more home-baked goods available for my family on a regular basis. So today I am making tahini chocolate chip cookies. All of us love these. They are from the recipe book. I think it's just called PlantYou, so you can find her on Instagram too, and I'll link her stuff below. And this is probably my favorite recipe from her book. These are so good. They're the perfect mix of, I don't even know how you would describe the taste of the tahini, but then also with the sweetness of the chocolate chips and the saltiness of the salt you put on top. They're big crowd pleasers all around. So I'm making a double batch of these because if I make a single batch, they last for about a day. So I always have to double the batch so we can all at least enjoy them a few times in our lunches, and we'll get those baked up. Now we're moving on to supper. So those are some cashews that I'd had soaking throughout the afternoon, and I'm just adding a bunch of ingredients to these. This is going to be, it's kind of like a gravy, but you can use it as a sauce. It's meant for meatballs, and then you can use it to top whatever you're going to serve with the meatballs. We've done it with rice. You could do it with mashed potatoes. Today I had found a bag of macaroni in my cupboard that I needed to use up, so that's what we were doing with it. But basically, once you've soaked the cashews, you just have to blend it all and then pour it into a pan so it thickens a bit. And yeah, I'll make sure that this recipe is also below if you guys want to check it out. This was just one I had found in Pinterest, but the gravy is really, really delicious. And I'll also include a little tidbit about nutritional yeast in the description as well if you're interested in learning more about that. These are my favorite meatless meatballs. We've tried a few, and I just find these are really delicious. I think it's Mr. Sub or Subway, I forget, who uses them in their meatball subs if you want them plant-based, and that was where I first tried them, and I thought they were really good. If you like fennel seeds, you will definitely like them. And the best way to cook those is actually in the sauce that you're going to use, and you just do them from frozen, so they just heat up in the sauce. Again, it's not real meat, so you don't have to worry about them not being cooked through. And basically it comes to a boil, then you let it simmer for a while, and your sauce is done. I didn't have another big pot clean, so I put all this macaroni into this tiny pot, but it worked fine. And we got that all cooked up, and then I will show you the final plating. That is it for today's video. Thank you for watching to the end. Like I said, if you loved it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I've got lots of other videos you can check out, and I'm trying to post once a week, incorporating lots of cleaning, some cooking, some just regular life with 2 little boys and trying to work and maintain a house and do renos and all those fun things. So I hope wherever you are having a fantastic day or night, and I will see you in the next one.